Hi, everybody. This is Mark Jewell, and today I'm here to talk to you about what I think is one of the most pertinent issues facing decision makers in any industry in America today, and that is the management of multiple generations in the workplace. And more specifically, I want to talk about how do you go about getting more out of millennials or Generation Y in the workplace. For the last year, I've been out speaking and training on this topic, helping managers like you learn ways to develop behavioral triggers to get more out of their millennial employees. You see, I come from really the cusp of the millennial generation and Generation X. And I grew up in a family that was led by a traditionalist set of parents, and we worked in a family business together. I had two baby boomer sisters. I have another sister from Generation X, and I come from Generation Y. And I tell you what, folks, we certainly had our dealings, but I've learned the nuances of what is important to each of these generations as a result. And to give you a more professional example, let me just tell you that I have worked in multiple situations over the last decade and a half where I had a baby boomer boss, a Generation X boss, male bosses, female bosses, and I've led upwards with folks that have greater experience than I do in order to get projects done, to get things done, to get my team functioning the way it needed to function in order for us to be successful. I've had these experiences going both ways, up and down the chain of command, managing expectations up and down to try and get things done, working across different generations and different personality types. And I tell you what, it's not easy, okay? However, it doesn't have to be the most frustrating thing that you deal with. So let's just talk about you for a minute. If you are some sort of manager, supervisor, CEO, VP of whatever it might be, chances are you have somebody of the millennial generation, or you might have heard it called Generation Y, that you are in the charge of. Now, if this has been a frustrating point for you, just rest assured it doesn't have to be that way. Now, as I've been out training and speaking on this topic, I help people uncover ways to develop behavioral triggers to get more out of employees, and that's been great. The training has been well received, and we've helped some people do some things better, get more out of their employees. In fact, there will be an offer later on where you can actually get my top 10 actions for getting more out of the millennial generation, free PDF report straight to you via email, all yours. Now, before I get to that piece, let me just talk about the gap. What I view as the true gap in the marketplace, and it's this: we're not doing a good enough job of developing our millennial leaders, especially our high potential folks that we really believe in. We really see them leading our organization, our teams into the future. We need to get more out of them now so that they're ready to assume leadership, or maybe they're already in leadership and then maybe they're waffling a little bit. They're just sort of walking on loose sand and not really sure, how they can get more out of that baby boomer employee that works for them now, that they're actually maybe a 30-year-old managing somebody who's in their 50s. And that person is completely comfortable with the amount that they have sold with the customers that they've sold to for the last 15 years. And how does this young person now motivate that person with a lot more experience than them to do more, to go higher, to sell a greater quantity of whatever it is? How does that happen? That's what I'm finding that millennials are most frustrated with in the marketplace. In the marketplace today. So here's the thing: how do we develop them? Quite frankly, most businesses that I interact with do not have the internal resource other than what you can find in a few books. And one thing I've also found is that millennials tend to learn really, really well from other millennials. Getting into groups, working on teams, sort of thriving off of each other's energy. That's one way to get it done. Another way that I've found is that they work really, really well with mentors and getting that advice from a baby boomer who's been there and seeking advice from that person. There's a couple of ways, but there's really no training resource available for people that want that. So I've created something called the Millennial Mastermind. I'm so excited to bring this to market, to bring this to you as an option to help you get more out of your highest potential young leader in your company, the person that you see carrying the torch in the future. If you want to keep them around, if you want to get more out of them today so that they're ready to lead tomorrow, you need to send them to the Millennial Mastermind. Now, here's how it works. Basically, we have a live kickoff event. It's 2 days. And in that 2-day event, and it'll be in a city near you as we launch more of them throughout the year, but as we send them to this live kickoff event, they get really plugged in. We basically get them addicted to learning new ways of doing better, of leading better, of getting more out of employees up and down the chain of command. We then reinforce it every month for as long as they're a part of the program, and I recommend at least a year to get the most bang for your buck, so to speak. But here's how it works. Every month, they are going to be able to participate in a continuous mastermind group. So folks that come to the live event will get paired up in groups of 10 to 20 in a mastermind group, and we will moderate a call for them every month so that they can check in with each other, hold each other accountable, and build through synergy with their teams. They'll have access to an online VIP members-only group rooted in social media, places that this millennial generation is comfortable interacting, but also so that it's secret and behind a little bit of a firewall so that secrets aren't being spilled out into the public. Very important, but also it sends triggers to their phone when somebody posts to the group so they know to go and look and see and help somebody out that might be having an issue or be able to get help on their own issues. So online VIP members only group, a monthly mastermind group with their peers, a live conference, and a monthly teleclass with a very successful leader from out in industry somewhere. So I'm actually bringing somebody in who has had mega success bringing organizations or teams, whatever type of groups of people to the top in their industry. Bring them in, giving them direct access, to each other. The millennials being able to ask questions of this leader. I will interview them live on a call. That part of the program, quite simply, is worth the cost right in and of itself with the kind of leaders that I'm bringing into this program. So excited to bring that out and get people exposed to that. So talk about this again. A live kickoff event, a monthly mastermind group meeting, online VIP members only group, a monthly teleclass with somebody who's kicking butt in leadership and actually making things happen, giving them direct access to the folks that are participating in the Millennial Mastermind. And at least one more thing that really sort of puts the cherry on the top right now, and that's actually a weekly podcast that I'm producing on a leadership topic that is pertinent to this generation, being able to lead better and get more out of their employees. And that is a downloadable podcast straight to their phone from iTunes. You can stream it on your computer, etc. So here's what it takes. All I'm asking today is that you request an invitation to this event, and I'll follow up with how to go about getting enrolled. If you do that, I'm going to send you my free PDF report, the top 10 actions for getting more out of millennials, just for signing up to get an invitation today. All you have to do is put your name and your email on the little box below this video on this page, and I will get that stuff out to you right away. Thank you again. My name is Mark Jewell with Mark Jewell Speaking and Training, and it is a great privilege for me to serve you and the leaders of your company's future. Thank you.